seminar on the issue of sex education, the proposed sex education for 5-year-olds. We have some guests here today. Inshallah, these brothers have been doing some research on this issue, and they will inform us about what is happening and what they are planning and what we can do, inshallah. So can I request Brother Atrat Ahmed, Sheikh Al-Kam is here. So can I request Brother Atrat Ahmed, our Muazzin, to recite from the Holy Quran, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والفجر وليال عشر والشفع والوتر والليل إذا يسر هل في ذلك قسم لذي حجر ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بعاد إرم ذات العماد التي لم يخلق مثلها في البلاد وثمود الذين جابوا الصخر بالواد وفرعون ذي الأوتاد الذين طغوا في البلاد فأكثروا فيها الفساد فصب عليهم ربك سوط عذاب إن ربك لبالمرصاد.
Today's program, in this format, first there will be a short presentation of 20-25 minutes by Brother Yusuf Patel, who has been leading on this issue, and afterwards you can ask any question, inshallah. So now can I request Brother Yusuf Patel to tell us about this proposal?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد بن عبد الله خاتم الأنبياء والمرسلين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam. Firstly, I'd like to really say Jazakallah khair, may Allah reward the East London Mosque and London Muslim Centre for allowing us to give this presentation here today. And when we first approached the East London Mosque, Brother Dilwar was very warm and welcoming and saying that we really need to address this issue and do come along. And so we agreed a date and we come here today to deliver this presentation. But Jazakallah khairan to the masjid and Jazakallah khairan to Imam Abdul Qayyum, inshallah, for being here today as well. What I want to talk about is this subject of the plans to make sex education compulsory in all schools, in all state schools from the age of 5. But what I want to do is, I want to discuss the present situation. I'm a governor at a local primary school in Newham. I'm a father of 2 children. And when we heard about the parents coming up to us and saying, we don't know what's happening in terms of what is compulsory in schools, in terms of sex education and what is not compulsory. The school is telling us everything is compulsory. Your children have to, by law, attend these classes. One parent we met said that she wanted to withdraw her child from sex education classes, from SRE classes. And the school, the head teacher said to her, if you do that, we will expel your child from this school. So she said, what can I do? As a parent, I don't know much about what is compulsory, what's not compulsory. We heard numerous examples of governors who attended meetings where they discussed sex education classes. And the head teacher again would say, look, this is compulsory, this is part of the law. You know, the local authority, they have said we have to do it. Ofsted, the inspectorate, they will inspect our school on how we teach sex education. So we have to do it. So they made the governing body sign up to a sex education policy. So we thought it is important that as a Muslim community, that we as parents and governors know what is compulsory and what isn't compulsory. We know that as parents, we can go to our school and speak to the head teacher who has many letters after his or her name, and who's very educated, who knows about education. But we can go to them and say, this is our rights, these are our rights. We want to protect the values of our children, therefore we want to remove our children from these classes. So it's important for us to start with this basic discussion. So the present situation is that sex education is taught within two subject areas. The first subject area is science, national curriculum science, and that is compulsory. And in that context, they teach the biological aspects of sex education. And to a greater level, not much of this isn't a problem. But there's another area in which they teach sex education, and that's in PSHE. It's now been called PSHEE, Personal, Social, Health and Economic Education. And in this subject area, it is not compulsory. They teach the relationship side, the emotional side. They teach about the feeling side of sex education. And that area is more problematic for us in terms of our values. Now, in that area, parents have the absolute right to withdraw their children from those classes. They don't have to give a reason. And the SRE policy, the Sex and Relationship Education policy, that in the school explains how you go about it. Whatever it says in the SRE policy of your local school, you do. But the main point is that you can remove your children from these classes. And when I explain what some of the things that are being taught in those classes, I'm sure you'll agree that it is important that we do withdraw our children from these classes. But one question I want to ask to you as an audience is, in 2002, Ofsted did some research into how many children are withdrawn from these classes. And they came up with a percentage figure. What do you think that percentage figure? Taking into account the proportion of Muslims in this country, conservative estimates are 3%. But we know there's more, the percentage of Muslims in this country are more. But there are more parents who are non-Muslim who will also disagree with what's being taught in SRE classes. So what percentage did they say of children that were withdrawn from SRE classes? I'll ask you this question. Sorry? Okay, so somebody's been reading our report, yeah? So 0.04% is the answer. Now, in our previous seminars, people have rightfully said 3%, 4%, 5%, 10%, because you'd expect that to be the situation. But it's actually 0.04%. That's 4 pupils in every 10,000 pupils that attend school. That is a very low figure. And when we speak to parents across London, we get the same story from every school, that the head teacher, they told us, don't withdraw your children from these classes. They either threatened them or they talked them out of it. Using information, saying to them, look, what we teach is nothing, there's nothing wrong with what we teach. We just teach basic ideas about the behavior of children. Or we teach values to our children. Now, I think let's first go into what can be taught to your children in school. Now, the first one is a comic, a comic called Let's Grow with Nisha and Joe. Now, this comic goes through issues about the parts of the body of a child to children. So in a classroom environment, children will be asked to explore and to label the parts of the body. Not only the head, the arms, not only the parts that we can see, but also the private parts of a child's body. And the question comes is, which age group is this comic targeted at? What do you think as an audience? To what age children do they teach this, or do they give this comic to?
5 plus.
5 plus? Okay, what is 5 plus? 5 plus could be any figure.
Nowadays.
Sorry?
7.
7.